everyone, and welcome to Checkpoint. Yeah, I'm really excited to be in your face again for Checkpoint, and it's your host, Dr. Ifoma Eze. I'm really excited to be here again, and I want to start by saying thank you, and thank you again to everyone, you especially, and everyone who always joins me here on Checkpoint. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for everything that you do for us here at Checkpoint. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And because of all that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience. And for this, we are indeed very grateful. Thank you, and thank you again. Now, today on Checkpoint, we're going to be sharing a very interesting and spicy topic. I like it to be a part of it. And before I begin to share what my topic is, you know what to do? Yeah, let's begin to share. Share the link to your WhatsApp groups, share the link to your friends and family groups. Let them know that Checkpoint is on again. And today, I'll be sharing with you something you would love. I will see you soon, right after the break. Don't go anywhere. All right, everyone, and welcome back to Checkpoint. Now, today on Checkpoint, we're going to be looking at the topic, how to know when it's time to walk away from a relationship. Oh, I told you it was going to be spicy. How to know when it's time to walk away from a relationship. Lots and lots of people are in relationships, and unfortunately, they do not know when it is time to actually walk away. So they stay in a relationship for a long time. They suffer a lot of abuse, they suffer a lot of betrayal and stuff, and they remain in that relationship. So they begin to see these red flags, they begin to see not just the red flags, black flags, and they don't even think it's time to quit this relationship. Some honestly do not know that it is time for them to leave the relationship. So men stay in these relationships, they see all the red flags, they see all the black flags, and they still remain in that relationship, not knowing it is time for them to leave that relationship. Unfortunately, some really want to leave, but they don't even know when the right time is. So they endure a lot of betrayals and abuse in those relationships. But today, I'm here to let you know that you should know when to walk away from a relationship. And of course, a relationship is not yet marriage. So it means that you have to do what is right for you, protect yourself before you enter into a lifetime of complaint and sorrow and uncertainty simply because you did not know when to walk away. I have heard ladies and even guys say, I have spent 5 years in that relationship. I have invested 5 years in that relationship. I can't leave that relationship now because I have already invested too much emotions and time. And our family members already know who she is or who he is. And listen to me. See, I know you have spent 5 years or more. But the question now is this, are you willing to spend 15, 50 more years of abuse for life? For some of you, you're going to be married longer than you have already lived. And this is why it is wisdom for you to know when to walk away from a relationship so that you don't make your suffering permanent, so that you don't make your pain permanent, so that you don't make your confusion permanent, so that you don't make your penury permanent. All right, you are going through a lot in this relationship, and all that is coming to your mind is that you spent 9 years, you spent 5 years, you spent 7 years in that relationship, and your mind is not telling you that until you walk away from what is, then only then can you walk into what should be. So if you're not willing to walk away from that relationship, how then do you intend to walk into the relationship that rightfully belongs to you? So my word of advice for everyone who is listening is for you to tell yourself that there is a time to walk away. And you have to be sure that you are not doing this out of just sentiment or emotion, that you've seen this pattern repeat itself more than once, and only then can you know that there is a pattern. It's not just a happenstance. There is a pattern that I cannot deal with. There is a pattern that I cannot live with, and do yourself a favor and walk away. So today I'll be sharing with you 10 powerful ways through which you can know that it is time for you to walk away from a relationship. Now, if one of this is happening, you should watch closer and be sure that it's not just happenstance. But I want to tell you the truth. You have to observe that relationship. If there is more than one, or even two, or even three of this is simultaneously happening in one relationship, girl, guy, you have to say bye to that relationship and take care of yourself. It is your own responsibility to protect yourself. It is your duty to protect yourself, and no one else is going to do that for you. So quickly, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 ways for you to know when it's time for you to walk away from that relationship. So number one thing I like to share with you is that walk away from that relationship when he or she doesn't value you anymore. Walk away from that relationship when he or she doesn't value you anymore. Are you in a relationship where the person you are in a relationship does not ever prioritize you? So every other thing comes up before you. Every other thing is considered before you are considered. Every other thing is important before that person decides to consider you. Listen to me. It's time for you to walk away from that relationship. You can't be in a relationship with a guy or a lady who does not value you, who does not appreciate who you are, who does not even accept you for who you are. You know, it's important that you get married to somebody who values what you value. How would you value honesty and truthfulness and integrity, and then you find yourself being in a relationship with somebody who lies at every whim? There are people that they lie so much that if they tell you good morning, you practically have to rush out and be sure that it's still morning, because they have come to the point that you can never trust a single word they say. Such people are people who do not value you. Because if somebody values you, the person will value what you value. And this is very, very key. Don't marry somebody who is always telling you, oh, see you are so churchy, you are always attending church, your pastors are brainwashing you. Meanwhile, you want to live your life as a devoted Christian, as somebody who loves God, who looks into God's word, who practices what the word of God says, and all of a sudden you're finding yourself in somebody who mocks you at every instance when you're trying to take God serious. That is a cue for you to do what? Walk away. Now, let me share with you. Number two. Now, I've said to you that number one reason, number one way to know when to walk away is when you find yourself in a relationship with somebody who does not value you. So, number two way for you to know how to walk away from a relationship, when it's time to walk away from a relationship, is you have been in a relationship with this person over time, maybe with a male or with a male or a female, and over time, you notice that your communication is dwindling, and it begins to dwindle to the point that he begins to avoid you, she begins to avoid you. Ah, look well. Oh. In such a situation, you have to tell yourself the truth. When somebody is avoiding you, don't still stay there and be bragging that you are in a relationship. What you are in is called a situationship. It is a serious situation, oh. And you better walk away before you end up into into agony ship, if there is any word like that. So I want to honestly tell you, you need to know that it is time for you to just walk away. Time for you to walk away. You are not a condemned product. Let me say this again on a very more serious note. You are not worthless, right? You are worthy. You are precious. You are unique. So, what is it on earth? Is that thing that will make somebody you are in a relationship with to start avoiding you? Huh? To start avoiding you. The person doesn't pick your calls, the person doesn't want to be around you. It is time for you to walk away. Tell yourself this relationship is no longer for me. Do you know that what is even most appalling is that you know that this person is avoiding you, yet you keep throwing yourself on him, yet you keep throwing yourself on her, with the intent that somehow, you will entangle this person to love you and get married to you. Can I announce to you that anyone that you practically threw yourself on and then you kept showing up in places where they don't even want you to see you, and this person is avoiding you, eventually, if eventually for any reason you get married, you will spend a lifetime. Let me say this again. You will spend a lifetime seeking the attention of him in the relationship or of her in that marriage. It would be so terrible. How would, if, in fact, this makes me to want to tell you a story, something I have told. If you're a regular audience here at Checkpoint, you must have heard this story about my life. You know, I was in a relationship before I met my husband. That was years ago. And I noticed that a time came when he would never come around school to visit me if there was nothing else important for him around the school. So I noticed that this was the case, and he was always coming around when he had something to do and was never coming around when he had nothing else to do. If it was just to see me, in his mind, I guess he didn't think it was very important to make out time or sacrifice time to come and see me. So he was just seeing me like an afterthought, all right? So I noticed that I even started reaching out, tried to call him a number of times, and then his siblings would pick the call and they would say stuff like, he's not feeling well, he's not disposed, he's busy, he's in a meeting, stuff like that. And I kept saying, if he's not feeling well and he's still at home and you guys are picking his call, it means it's not an emergency, which means he should be able to answer my call, but he never did, you know. So I weighed this situation and I sat down one day and reflected on my life and reflected in the possible future I was to have with this guy. And I told myself, no, I cannot do this to myself. In good conscience, I cannot do this to myself because I consider myself worthy. I consider myself precious. I consider myself unique. All right. I am peculiar in God's sight. And why on earth would somebody else treat me this way? I sat down and I told myself, this guy has not even seen my nakedness. And then all of a sudden, he's tired in a relationship. We are not yet married. What will then happen when we are now married and then he begins to see everything and then familiarity steps in and then at the end of the day I was going to have a terrible marriage with this guy, and I told myself the truth. So I called him one of the days and told him I needed to see you. And when he came, I told him, well, in the name of Jesus, bro, I told you I was going to marry you. In the name of Jesus, I am telling you right now, I am not going to marry you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore because I believe I deserve better. I believe that one of the reasons why we go out and make lots and lots of mistakes relationship-wise is because we do not see ourselves as deserving better. We do not see ourselves as worthy. We do not see ourselves as the way God sees us. God says that we are the apple of his eyes. God says that he has engraven our names on the palms of his hands, meaning that there is no moment we are not before his eyes. This is how precious we are to God. And if I'm that precious to God, I cannot allow another person to trivialize the gift of God in me or to take me for granted. So please, if he or she begins to avoid you, tell yourself the truth and move on. Get rid of that relationship because it's not good for you at all. Now, number three, how to know when it's time for you to walk out from a relationship is that he or she abuses you verbally, emotionally, physically. Verbally, emotionally, physically. If the person you are in a relationship with is consistently and constantly abusing you, why on earth do you want to make this situation permanent by agreeing to marry such a person? Why? Why would you want to do something like that to yourself? Is it that you have self-hate? Is it that you hate yourself so badly that you want to spend a lifetime of abuse? What is it? Somebody who professes that he or she loves you, but they keep abusing you. This abuse may not be physical or may be verbal. They insult you, they insult your father, they insult your mother, they insult who you are, they insult your very existence, and then you are just there, assuming that it's going to be all right, assuming that he or she is going to change. Is it that you hate yourself this much? It is a sign, a cue that it is time for you to walk away from this relationship. You don't want to suffer a lifetime of abuse. Somebody is hitting you. Somebody is beating you. Somebody is inflicting injury on you. And the moment they are done, they come back to you and tell you, please forgive me. It was the devil. I didn't do it intentionally. And you are bragging about your upcoming wedding with such a beast. Why on earth would you want to do something like that to yourself? I really want to encourage you. I don't know how far you've gone in the relationship. I don't know what you think you have spent, but it is not worth a lifetime of pain. Somebody who abuses you, somebody who beats you in a relationship will practically kill you in marriage. Let me say this again. Somebody who beats you in the relationship will kill you in marriage. Many spouses have died and have been buried, and even their spouses who was locked up for just a little time was eventually released. Many husbands have died like that. Many wives have died like that. And you want to join the number? Is marriage really worth your life? Is marriage really worth all the blessedness you're supposed to bring to this earth? Is it really worth it? Why would you want to destroy your life in that manner? Why would you want to destroy your life in that way? So I am really honestly speaking to everyone who is listening to me right now. Do yourself a favor. Tell yourself the truth. Marriage is not worth your life. This is why if you're in a relationship now and somebody is abusing you, somebody is beating you, somebody is emotionally abusing you, all right? All of these are reasons why you have to know that it is time for you to do what? Move on with your life. You can't spend a lifetime of such experience. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. A particular lady told me one time, this is really crazy, and I like it to get. A lady told me one time that her husband to be, kept abusing her, beating her, inflicting injury and pain on her, that he usually uses his belt to flog her. And that she sees it as a sign of love because her father, while she was growing up, would always lash her with his belt and tell her that it is the one who the Lord loves that he chastises. You know that scripture? So the father would always beat her with belt. In fact, she'll be bleeding from her skin. And then the father would say, you know I love you, right? And I am beating you because I love you. Now, this lady eventually got married to a manipulator like that. And then, you know what happened? This guy will beat the hell out of her, and then come back to tell her that it is because he loves her that he is disciplining her. And you see, her mother was already dead, so she went back to her father, and her father said it is right. Real men beat their wives. Real men show their wives who is the boss is. And this lady was about to perpetuate another generation of abusive husbands, not knowing that this was not right at all. In one of the seminars I was having, I was speaking like this, and I brought a lot of light to it. And when she heard me, she said that she assumed it was normal. She didn't believe, because all her life she grew up with an abusive father, and she eventually was about to get married to this abusive man, and she assumed that this was normal, that other people were going through it. I said, nothing on earth makes this normal. Nothing on earth makes, there is nothing normal about it. And when she received light, Eventually, she's happily married today, but she's not married to somebody who abuses her simply because she learned better. Now, I have also seen somebody else who told me, no, he's going to change. No, he's going to get better. You know, because he's not yet sleeping with me, he has a lot of bottled up emotions. He's always very angry. But I believe that when we get married and he begins to sleep with me, he would calm down. Of course, they are no longer married today. So the fact that the truth is presented is not even a guarantee that people will choose right. There are people who are hell-bent in the nonsense they already know, and they want to perpetuate a lineage of abusive men, abusive women, and that is not right by any chance. All right. So let me tell you another one, how to know when it is time for you to walk away from a relationship. That will be number four. Number four, he or she doesn't care for you. He or she doesn't care for you. I don't care if they have money or not. You don't have to be wealthy to be able to care for somebody. You don't have to be very rich to be able to care for somebody. In fact, you don't have to spend too much in order to be able to care for somebody that you say you love. If you love him, if you love her, you will care. And what is caring? Caring is not just about going to buy all the gifts, going to spend all the money, all right, being there at every instant. Caring is that you look out for this person, right? You deeply want to see good come out of his or her life. That's caring. Caring is that you want to see the better version of this person. You are concerned about their welfare. That's what caring is. So you cannot honestly say that he cares for you or she cares for you when you do not see them being concerned about your welfare, being concerned about your future, being concerned about your well-being. That's what caring is all about. How do you say you are not feeling well and he doesn't call? How do you say you are not feeling well and she doesn't call? He or she does not care. He or she does not care at all. So it's very, very important that you stay in a relationship with somebody who truly cares for you. Somebody who cares for you in a relationship will eventually care for you in marriage. Don't go and do something bad to yourself all because you believe that this person will eventually change. Nobody truly changes. Even people say that money changes people, but let me tell you the truth. Money only brings out the hidden character of a person. So this person did not change. It was the moment they had more money that their real character was unveiled. And you can't do this to yourself, right? You can't be this mean to yourself. So go ahead and marry somebody who truly, truly cares for you. This person should be visibly concerned with your welfare, visibly concerned with your well-being. They want to see you good. They want to see you happy. They want to see you well. They want to see you prosperous. They want to see you advancing in life and in career. And that's what it means. And that's what it means by saying that you should make sure that he or she is somebody who truly cares for you. If you're in a relationship now, like it, sit back and ask yourself, does he really care for me? Does she really care for me? Are they truly concerned about my well-being and my welfare? Are they really interested in my advancement? These are the ways people should know that somebody cares for you or not. All right, so let's talk about number five, how to know when it is time to walk away from a relationship. Number five is that he or she does not respect your boundaries. You have clearly said, these are the things I cannot do. These are the things I cannot say. These are the things I cannot even think about. But this person keeps pushing those boundaries. They want you to do things that you are not comfortable with. They want you to do things that you have said you will never do. They want you to cross boundaries, to say things that you shouldn't be saying. Please watch it when somebody is intentionally trying to cross all of those boundaries. And learn to say no. Be assertive. Learn the ability to say no. You can be assertive without being aggressive. Let me say this again. You can be assertive without being aggressive. The fact that you are trying to be assertive in what you are saying, no, I just told you that I cannot do this, insist on it without being aggressive. Let this person that you're in a relationship know that these are my boundaries. And if you watch that this person is consistently pushing those boundaries, these boundaries could be mostly boundaries of morality. All right? You tell yourself that there are things I cannot do because I'm a believer. There are things I cannot do because I am a Christian. Watch that one. Who will want to make you do things that you're not comfortable with? Who want to make you do things that will make you offend God? Who want to make you do things that you have vowed you would never find yourself doing? And if he or if she does not respect your boundaries, it is time for you to walk away from that relationship because they will eventually make you do terrible things. A particular woman came to me one time and she was terribly crying. She was so worried. And do you know what the problem was? They had been married for a while and they could not have children. So they had gone for a medical checkup and stuff like that. And eventually they found out that the husband was not able to impregnate her. Now, at this moment, do you know what the husband now did? The husband now insisted that this woman will have to go and sleep with any other man or even his own brother. And he kept pushing this. The wife kept telling him that this is adultery in God's sight. Instead, let's go and adopt. Or we could do IVF. Or we could even do surrogacy. Just let's find a way through which we can have children other than me having to sin against God. This man kept saying that he is the Lord of his wife, he's the head of his wife. And the lady kept saying that I gave my life to Christ long before I got married to you. I cannot do this sin against God. The husband kept pushing her, telling her, oh, you want to show everybody my nakedness? You want to show everybody that I'm not a man, that I cannot impregnate you. And he kept pushing this. In fact, as at the time the lady came crying to me, the man had told her that if you do not get pregnant by any other man, if you do not go out there and sleep with somebody, eventually I will have to send you away from my house. And this lady came, I was telling her, there are options of IVF. He said he does not want IVF, that he really wants her to physically, and that he has to be around to be sure how they slept, to be sure. I was like, what is this? Does he want to start a porn industry, movie or what? And this lady kept crying. So I keep praying to God and trusting God. But one thing you will never do is that you will never succumb to such level of adultery. God is not interested in it. God is not happy with it. And God himself knows that you guys are going through this. And he will make a way. And he will make a way. So if you're out there and somebody keeps pushing your boundaries, this person does not respect your boundaries. You say you're a Christian, this person wants you to do everything like an unbeliever. Please, don't say that my biological clock is ticking. Don't say that time is going against me. Don't say that, oh, I have to do something. Listen to me. Just stand by God's side. Do what God's will is, and you will be safe. All right? All right? Just stay there, and God will come true for you. He will see you through. He will not allow the shame to befall you. He will not allow you to be put to shame. All right? Okay, so let's talk about number 6. All right, so number 6 way for you to know that it is time for you to walk away from this relationship is when he or she is ashamed to let others know about that you both are in a relationship. When he or she is ashamed to let others know that you both are together in a relationship, it is time for you to do what? To walk away from that relationship. I've heard many things. So, some people say, I've heard a set of young people, they were in a relationship and the guy kept saying, I want our relationship to be secret. So the guy kept telling the lady, I want our relationship to be secret. I don't want anybody to know that we are in a relationship. And the lady asked, why is it? Why don't you want people to know that we're in a relationship? He kept saying it's because there are so many enemies out there. You know, I don't want people to know about our relationship. They will spoil things for us. They won't allow our relationship to thrive. So I want us to keep it a secret just between you and I. And lady said, okay, what of your pastor? What of your family members? Said, no, no, no. Just between the both of them. Of course, eventually, he left this lady. How did he leave her? One of those days, she was trying to reach him. She kept calling and calling and calling, and the guy wasn't picking. So she now decided to come to their house, only for him had to get to the house. And then she saw people packing food, food flasks of food and stuff like that. And they said that they were going for the wedding reception of this same guy. So this guy, hey, people are suffering. This guy kept this lady in a relationship, in a hidden, secret relationship. And eventually, he got married to somebody else. You don't want such a thing to happen to you. If somebody is proud of you, you will conquer their vocabulary. If somebody is proud of you, you will conquer their very existence. As a matter of fact, they want to shout from the rooftops, I'm in love with him. I'm in love with her. I am proud of him. I am proud of her. You see this one that is always ashamed to let anybody know that both of you are in a relationship, something is wrong somewhere. If they are not proud of you now, they will be proud of you in marriage. If they are not proud of you in a relationship, they won't be proud of you in marriage. And this is why you have to tell yourself the truth on time. Tell yourself the truth. The truth you tell yourself will save you. It will set you free. Somebody cannot love you and be ashamed at the same time to let others know that they're in a relationship with you. Forget all that stuff about, oh, they don't want enemies to hear, or they don't want people to come and spoil the relationship. All of those things are trash. If a man is in love, you will be on his lips. If a woman is in love, everybody will know. People around this person will get to know that this person is truly in love. Even if they don't put it out on social media, but at least people in their circles, people around them, people within their space will know that he or she is in love with you. So if he or she is ashamed of you now in relationship, he will certainly be ashamed of you in marriage. And it will be one of in fact, it is one of the worst things you can do to yourself, to be in a relationship with somebody who is not proud of you, who is ashamed of you. And you don't want that. Because if they're ashamed of you in your relationship, when you get married, they'll be more ashamed of you. And you are not leprous. Let me tell you the truth. You are not leprous. You are not a condemned property. So what is the reason why somebody will not be proud of having you in their corner? It starts with self-esteem. You have to love yourself enough to be able to walk away from that relationship. Walking away from that relationship, I know you might cry, I know you might be sad for a while, but ultimately you would have known that you have done yourself a world of good by taking the right step to do what? Walk away from that relationship. All right? Okay, so let's talk about number 7. Number 7 way through which you can know that it is time for you to walk away from a relationship is that this person, he or she, constantly compares you with their ex. Child. He or she constantly compares you with their ex. Listen to me. If their ex was that good, why didn't they go there to marry the ex? If their ex was that powerful, why was the relationship destroyed? If their ex was that good, why did they not do everything in their power to keep that relationship going? So please, please, and please, when you get to the point where any little thing you do, somebody is already comparing you to their ex. They are comparing you to their ex in the way you talk. They are comparing you to their ex in the way you cook. They are comparing you to their ex in the way you dress. They are comparing you to your ex in everything, and making you feel like you are not worth anything, that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not incredible enough. Listen to me, it is time for you to walk away. Now, somebody might be hearing me today for the first time, and you assume that that's all I say. No, this is not all I tell people. I like you to go to my YouTube channel and please feed there on so many relationship messages. I just decided to address this issue of walking away because it seems that people don't know when to walk away. Some spend so much time and they feel, oh, because I've invested all my life, I've invested this number of years, I should keep going on with that insult. One particular lady, I told her, no, this relationship is not healthy for you. This relationship is not good for you. She said, Mama, I have spent 7 years with him. I can't start afresh. I cannot look for another person. And I asked her, if it was cancer that was growing on your skin, would you not cut it off after 7 years? Will you say, oh, this cancer has been with me for 7 years. I just have to leave it here. You know, this tumor, it has been on my body for 7 years, so I should leave it here because it has stayed with me. Nonsense. Arrant nonsense. You have to cut it off because it's not healthy for you. The fact that you suffered for 7 years, does it mean that this is reason why you should keep suffering for another 7 years? Think about it. Sit back and reflect. The fact that you have been eating nonsense, taking nonsense from this person you are in a relationship with for 7 years does not mean you should continue taking that same nonsense. It does not mean you should continue enduring that same nonsense. So when you have endured it for this while, please know when to walk away. In case you're hearing me for the first time today, and this is your saving grace, this is God speaking to you right now. Cut off from that relationship. It's not healthy for you. The fact that you were treated like trash for 7 years does not mean you should be treated like trash for another 7 years. Why would somebody put you in that mess and you, let me make it personal, why would you put yourself in that kind of mess? How would you have to go through all of that? So I am advising you, I am giving you wise counsel. If you have been there for too long, please, this is time for you to quit and make sure you do something better for yourself. All right? And let me tell you the truth. There are times that if you don't let go, you may not be able to hold on. Let go of that nonsense and hold on to something that you rightfully deserve. Let go of that relationship and hold on of a relationship that fits you, that suits you, that will give you peace, joy, and the happiness that you desire. All right? Okay, so I have said that enough. I'd like to share with you number 8, way for you to know when it is time to walk away from a relationship. Number 8 is when he or she keeps flirting with other people shamelessly. When you notice that you are in a relationship with him or you're in a relationship with her, and then you see this person flirting with others shamelessly. They're not even ashamed of it. They're not even sorry about it. They feel because they are fine. And because they are fine, people should be chasing them, right? So they don't want you to tie them down. They don't want to find themselves in a situation whereby you are the only person in their life. Some of them will use the word, they don't want to be tied down in a marriage with you. Listen to me. If this person keeps flirting around with other people, shamelessly in your presence, even while being in a relationship with you, just know that this person, by the time you guys get married for real, this guy will be in every lady's pants. This lady will be in every in every guy's laps. And this is not what you want for your life. All right? You want to get married to somebody who will be faithful to you. You want to get married to somebody who will love you, who will cherish you, who will look at you with that kind of eyes that makes butterflies fly in your tummy. All right? I'm telling you, I've been in marriage 18 years, and I can tell you that love is real. A good marriage is real. It is a blessing for you to be in marriage. It is a blessing for you to find that special one. That every time they look at you, you feel some tingling, right? It doesn't go away if there is true love, all right? I know that life can be hard, things can be difficult, but the truth of the matter is that marriage is worth it. There are so many nonsense that is being peddled around about marriage. People are saying lots and lots of nonsense things negatively against marriage. In fact, somebody celebrated a divorce party the other day, and the person called like a reception, and they then had a divorce party reception, and the person was like, I do, I did, and I'm done. And this was a 3-tier cake, a 3-step cake. I did, I do, I did, and I'm done. And they were celebrating it, you know. Instead of a white cake, they made it a black cake, making a mockery out of marriage. I want to tell you the truth. I don't know who that person is, who did that cake, who did that divorce party. But one thing I must tell is that marriage can be beautiful. Marriage can be sweet. Marriage can be very, very reliable. Even the Bible says that one will chase 1,000 and two will chase what? 10,000. Now, at this point, you are no longer working on just your own strength, on just your own capability, on your own energy. You are synergizing with somebody else who believes in you, with somebody else who knows your fears, but yet believes in your future. How powerful can that be? How wonderful can that be? So I want to encourage you. I want to really, really encourage you to look at marriage with a different eye. If this person is flirting around, marriage is not to flirt. Marriage is a commitment. All right? Marriage is a commitment. And let me tell you the truth. Even in 18 years of marriage, there will be times when you don't feel lovable. There will be times when you don't feel like you are loved. There will be times when you don't feel like loving. But because it's a commitment, you have made up your mind. You have dedicated yourself to love this one person for the rest of your life. You see yourself putting in that effort. You see yourself making that effort. You see yourself sacrificing for the sake of the person you care about. And listen to me, you will never want to see tears on that person's face because of you. Who can say that when you love, you can make the other person cry? The only tears that you are supposed to make the person you are in love with to cry are called tears of joy, tears of happiness, an outburst of so much joy because of something that you did for them. Those are the only tears that are permitted when you truly love somebody, when you truly care for somebody. So I like you to know this. Marriage is wonderful. Marriage is beautiful. I can testify. My parents had this for 42 years. My parents had this. I saw them. I lived with them. I watched. I grew up in this atmosphere. And I told myself, it is possible to replicate. Is it without sacrifice? No. Is it without some level of striving and uncertainty? No, it is not without all of this. It has its own uncertainty, it has its own challenges, but then you know that you are building something powerful. Your children will just look at you and see both of you in love, and nothing can be more precious than that. Nothing can be more wonderful than that. So I want you to know this, that marriage in itself is beautiful, and that when this person is flirting around, flirting shamelessly with others, when they're in a relationship with you because they think they are fine and they deserve to be chased, because they think they are fine and they deserve to have a flock of women or a flock of men around them, it will eventually affect your marriage negatively. So no matter what you do, it is a sign that you must walk away. You have to guide your self-esteem. Let me tell you something about that happened when I was much younger. There was a particular guy who came around me then, and he wanted to be in a relationship with me. And of course, because he was semi-born again, not really, he was not born again. I'm not sure there's anything that's semi-born again. But because he was not fully, truly born again, he kept asking for what I was not willing to give to him. And a particular time came when he would, when we just maybe go out for dinner or lunch rather, in that place, you would visibly see him flirting with other ladies. And his intention was to make me see that there are so many people that wanted him, so I should give in to what he was saying. So it was more like, in case you are delaying, in case you are not making this move, in case you are not showing up, see, there are other ladies who are willing to give me exactly what I want. So he was like, okay, their plan was for them to make me jealous or to make me give in unnecessarily. And it didn't work. Because when I saw that this was the kind of life he was living, I quickly ran away. All right? The Bible says flee. I quickly fled. I was not even looking for my shoe. I ran far away. Because there are people, you see, when you see somebody like that, you see that this person has no values. This person has no respect for God. This person has no, what do we call this now? Contentment. He's not contented with what we have in the relationship. He's not even contented and patient to even wait till we get married. So, of course, I ran away from my dear life. And that time I was running away plenty times because, of course, you see, when I stopped running, I ran into a beautiful marriage, right? So it's important for you to know that there are plenty relationships you practically have to run away from in order to run into what is right and what is best for you. All right, let me share with you number 9. All right, the next one I want to share with you is number 9. Number 9, way through which you know that it's time for you to walk away from a relationship is when he or she keeps gaslighting you. When he or she keeps gaslighting you. Let me tell you about this issue of gaslighting. Have you ever seen somebody who offends you, and after offending you, they come to you and begin to tell you how you have offended them? That is gaslighting properly. In fact, I experienced one today in one of the meetings I went. Well, somebody was supposed to do the right thing, and the person is not doing the right thing, and yet the person was the one who was complaining that I had offended him. Listen to me. Let me tell you the truth. To live with a gaslighter is one of the worst things that can happen to you in your entire existence. They make all the problems about themselves. They make all the problems, they make themselves the victim of every situation. And they make you the villain. They always make you the perpetrator. So even the things that they did, they have a way of twisting it around and making it look like it was you who did that to them, or you who is their problem. Have you seen a man who decides that he doesn't want to, he doesn't touch his wife in marriage, and then when the wife asks, why, what's happening? We're not together, we're not intimate anymore, and he begins to say something like, it's because you're fat, it's because you're not size 12, it's because you move from size 12 to size 20, that's why. Listen to me, this is gaslighting properly. People are doing this every time in marriage. It doesn't even have to be with the weight. Somebody will just come and keep quiet. Silent treatment. And you're asking, what did I do to you now? He said, it's because you didn't do, it's because you kept quiet on me first. I said, when did I keep quiet on you? I was just working on my project. I was just trying to make things work. And all of a sudden, you're saying, you see, they have a way of twisting information. In fact, the spirit at work in them is the spirit of Leviathan. Has a way of twisting information, twisting situations, and making it look like you are the one that is the problem. In fact, how do you know that you're in a relationship with a gaslighter? Most of the time you guys spend in your relationship, you spend it apologizing. You are always apologizing. You are always apologizing. He is always the one that is right. She is always the one that is right. But you end up apologizing. Every minute you are apologizing for one thing or the other. You are always offending them left, right, center. It doesn't ever seem like there is anything that you do and you do well when it comes to them. These are gaslighters. Run for your dear life, because it's not going to end the marriage. In fact, they make it, in fact, they will say you are the reason why the air is not blowing outside. You are the reason why the sun refuses to shine today. You are the reason why the rain is falling unstoppably. They make everything about you. A gaslighter will never give you peace of mind. A gaslighter knows how to blame, and they package their blame. Sometimes they are even the more well-spoken ones. So they will, in fact, if you ever bring your case to anybody, or you have a third party trying to settle your matter, the gaslighter will make the new person believe that you are actually the problem, and you will be so confused that you'll be asking yourself, how, where? This is not exactly what happened. They will tell a portion of the story, but they will say the portion of the story that looks like you are the problem. This is the job of a gaslighter. If you have not experienced one, thank God. Go and do Thanksgiving. But if you have experienced one, you will know that one of the worst things you can ever do to yourself in this life is to be in a marriage with a gaslighter. They will keep blaming you. In fact, they will blame you to the point that you go psycho. You won't even know what it is that hit you. You won't even know what it is that you're doing with your life because you are apologizing. In fact, sometimes they are the first to shout wolf. They're the first to call for help. And when people come, they'll say, see what's happening. And they'll cry about it. Oh, the gaslighters can cry. They will cry about it and they will make it look like, see, I've been enduring all of this. And you who is actually the one who is enduring the pain will be so confused that you might even be speechless. And when you're speechless, you cannot even plead your case. They will say, yes, 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 this one is the one who is at wrong in the relationship. But please, I'm begging you, now that you're not married, run for your life. Now that you're not yet married and you are seeing that this man is a gaslighter, that this woman is a gaslighter, please run for your dear life. They will set your life into flames. They will burn down your self-confidence because the gaslight, both gas and the light, the gas and the light combination will burn down your self-esteem to rubble. They will make you look like you are useless, like you are worthless, like you're the reason behind the global warming, you are the reason behind every wrong thing happening on earth. So please, do yourself a lifetime of good by avoiding a gaslighter. Finally, I'd like to share with you number 10, how to know when it is time for you to move away or walk away from a relationship. Is that he or she does not respect your opinions. He or she does not respect your opinions. So something is going on and then you come in and you have something to say, you have something to say about what is happening. They never regard you. In fact, they will listen to everybody but you. They will consider what everybody is saying but what you are saying. In fact, they will receive, in fact, the same advice you have given, they will receive that same advice from other people and implement it very, very fast. But if you are the one that is giving that same advice, they will trivialize it. They will make it look like it's nothing. They will not even attend to it. They will not even listen to you. They will keep going on to the next one, looking for the next super idea. And eventually, they may end up doing what you have said, but they didn't do it because of you. They didn't even hear it from you. They heard it from somebody else and did it because somebody else said it. Somebody else they felt they valued. So if you're in a relationship and the person you're in a relationship with does not respect your opinion, it is terrible. All right, it is time for you to know that you have to walk away from that relationship. It's going to get worse in marriage because now in the relationship, this person does not respect your opinion. When you get married, this person must have done still finish for you. You know, the one we call still finish. This person is already super familiar with you. This person will not begin to trivialize every single thing you say. In fact, there was a man like that. You know, he will never value the opinion of his wife. The wife will give him counsel. He will never do it. If he hears it from somebody else, he will do that one and he'll keep emphasizing that there's somebody else that told him that even though his wife had mentioned it first, he won't even remember because he feels that because she's not learned, she doesn't know anything. All right. So, and he kept doing that over and over again. He killed the self-esteem of this woman. This woman never really believed in herself ever again. She kept looking down on herself. She used to be a very smart girl before she got married to this guy. But the moment she got married to this guy, you know, she started dropping and dropping and dropping. Today, she's a shadow of herself. Why am I telling you all of this? It's so that you know when it is the right time to walk away. Walk away from a relationship when it does not suit you. Walk away from relationship when you see these 10 signs I have given to you. These things are very, very important. And I must drop in one like an extra bonus. Walk away from anybody who does not fear God. I'm telling you, hey, you can even forget all the 10 I said, but this one is the bonus, the super pack of it all. Walk away from anybody who does not fear God. If you're in a relationship with somebody who does not love God, who does not fear God, who does not value God, who trivializes the things of God, that is one of the worst things you can do to yourself. You guys might be enjoying the hype, might be enjoying the fun and everything, but listen to me. What will make it long lasting is that you have God in the midst of that relationship. The Bible says that a threefold cord cannot be quickly broken. What is that threefold cord? You are one, your spouse is the other, and God is the third one. You know, and this is what makes the threefold cord unable to break. I want to tell you that no matter what you do, marry somebody that fears God. No matter what you do, marry somebody that loves God. No matter what you do, marry somebody who knows that there is a God in heaven who watches over the affairs of man. If you marry somebody who does not fear God, sorry will be your name. If you marry somebody who does not fear God, you will end up crying. You will end up in tears. You will be filled with regret. You will be filled with pain simply because you do not marry somebody who fears the Lord. So this is the bonus one I'll give to you because it's very important. You know, somebody that fears God will be teachable. Somebody that fears God will have a heart that is humble enough to learn. If you marry somebody who does not have any value for God, you know, like the judge in the Bible that says, I do not have fear for God, I do not have fear for men. That is a terrible person to live with. You will end up being super frustrated. You will end up crying a lot of cries. You end up in a lot of pain simply because you refuse to marry somebody who fears the Lord. And these are the few things that I decided to share with you today on Checkpoint. I'm really excited that you joined me and watched till the end. And I know in my heart that you will make the right choice and then it will be of benefit to you. Now I know there are people who watched who joined this program who are not who are already married, and you might be saying that why did I have to waste my time watching all of this? Please, it is not a waste of time. This, what you have gotten today, will be of value for your cousin, your niece, your child, all right? Anybody around you. So make sure that this message goes further. You can share the video, you can share the link, let somebody else hear what I'm saying. And for some of you who are married, you might also see some things that you neglected in the points here that are also affecting you at the moment. And please, it's important that you do everything you can in your power to reconcile if you are already married. But if you're not yet married, please walk away. See, there are many fishes in the ocean, and it's not just one person that will be able to turn your life around. There are so many better men out there. There are so many better women out there. So don't give up on yourself simply because one didn't work, another one will work. All right, till I come your way again, keep making a positive, indelible mark in the lives of people and on the sands of time. I love you so very much. Bye-bye for now. Mwah. Everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, you will be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed and God will bless you. Love you.